There we go. Let's go hand in this evidence. We have a lot of evidence for you. We have 6 pieces of evidence for you. Dart! We have 6 pieces of evidence for you. 6. 6 whole evidence pieces.
This mission is going to require discretion on a number of fronts.
I have evidence for you.
Glad to hear it. Let's see what you got.
I've been information about the murder of Madeleine LaRue.
We were aware that Miss LaRue was involved with Fergus Wickham. When her body was recovered, Sis Def assumed he was the culprit. Sounds like we had it wrong. Should have pinned the murder on this Clay Dietrich perp. Well, we'll have to clear that up. Nice find. Any other fragments?
Apparently, Key's getting his medical supplies from the clinic.
Damn it. I knew those supplies had to be coming from somewhere, but I never expected them to be leaking directly from the clinic. I'll have to contact Mast and let them deal with this. Freestar Collective territory is out of my jurisdiction. Have any more?
A hot tip that someone in the fleet is hoarding a shipment of chunks.
A hot tip, huh? What kind of idiot would dig in their heels waiting for a massive payout on some of the cheapest food in the settled systems? I've seen some strange things on this assignment, but this definitely tops the list. I'll, pass it on to my superiors. I'm sure they'll get right on it. Find anything else?
Stumbled across some evidence describing what happened to the cargo freighter Chiroptera.
Good.
Chiroptera.
When SysDef stumbled across the wreckage of the ship, we were sure it was the Crimson Fleet, but we could never prove it. We found 32 dead colonists in that wreckage. Poor crew must have put up a hell of a fight. At least their families will now have some closure. Anything else?
You might want to raise the alarm at Hopetown.
The fleet's planning a raid on Hopetown? Okay. I didn't expect them to be so bold, but I suppose desperate times call for desperate measures. Don't worry. I'll circulate the description of this captain to the authorities on Hopetown and make sure they never set foot in that settlement. That it?
Looks like Neva hasn't finished with the base on Crete.
I have to hand it to Neva Mora. The lady's thorough. That facility on Crete still holds a good bit of valuable resources and equipment. All right. Can't do much with this one except pass it over to the military. Hopefully they stop denying the base's existence and do something about it. Find anything else?
That's all.
Understood. Keep searching and you're bound to find more. We'll be here if you need us.
Oh, hang on.
Remember to turn in any evidence fragments you find.
Can you tell me how the commander saved your life?
I suppose. Though the commander won't be thrilled that I told you, so keep it to yourself. So, when I was running with the Crimson Fleet, I put together a hell of a crew. 6 of the toughest pirates I could find.
How many pirates does it take to screw a light bulb? 100? 1.
Would the commander candy mind when you about your past?
On the record, it's against regulations. My personnel profile is private, and you need the proper authorization to access the file. Off the record, Commander Akande isn't exactly popular at Mast for the way he runs his operation, so he likes to keep these things quiet. The fact that an ex-pirate is second in command to SysDef's pride and joy wouldn't inspire waves of confidence from his superiors.
Must be looking over your shoulder the whole time, though.
Absolutely. I couldn't take my eyes off of any of them for even a second. Imagine trying to get some shut-eye on a ship like that. Didn't sleep much, I can assure you. My first mate was Arya Fikes, the toughest of the bunch. The only problem was that she had a...
Oops. Why'd you select Arya as your first mate, then?
Honestly, she was so overbearing she kind of fell into the role on her own. I didn't even make it official for months. Despite her temper, she always had my back and helped me keep the rest of the crew in line. Of course, it also helped that she was the best pilot in the fleet. She flew rings around what SysDef was throwing at us back then.
It sounds risky to make someone like that your first mate.
Well, the positives outweighed the negatives. At first. Anyway, there was this one particular incident where we had a hot tip on a freighter supposedly running heavy with ore. The second we dropped out of grav space, we knew it was a trap. We'd been set up, and the UC was waiting for us. Somehow we managed to take out all of their attack ships, I grabbed Arya and we boarded the freighter.
Where did such a terrible tip originate?
Well, it showed up on Shinya Voss's mission board, which means it could have come from anywhere. I don't know what he's like now, but back then, all of his missions were pretty solid leads with good pay.
Oh, forgive me, Lieutenant, but that was careless and pretty stupid.
No, you're right to criticize. We had no idea what we were walking into. It was tactically stupid. We fought our way to the bridge and the crew surrendered. That's when the Vigilance arrived. I watched it vaporize my ship and crew in seconds. Commander Akande radioed over for us to give up, turn ourselves in. Arya went wild. Said she'd start executing crew if they didn't let us leave. The commander tried to talk some sense into her, but she was too far gone. I knew right then she'd rather die than surrender.
Were there any other options?
None at all. We were marooned on that freighter. No ship, no escape shuttles, and no chance of rescue.
Why didn't you side with Arya?
Even as a pirate, I had my limits. I'd never shoot someone that was unarmed and couldn't fight back. As long as they surrendered and gave up the goods, there was no need for them to die.
That must put you in a terrible position.
You can't even imagine. Commander Akande promised to be lenient if we let the crew go. When we didn't reply, he sent over a ship to board us. I saw Arya put her gun to one of the hostages' heads. And saw that look in her eye. I could actually see her squeezing the trigger. Next thing I knew, a shot rang out. I'll never forget that look on Arya's face as she fell to the ground with the wound in her chest. Looked down at the gun in my hand like it belonged to someone else. I still don't know why I did it.
You did what you had to do.
That's what I keep telling myself. I hope to God we're both right. Long story short, I spent a year in jail, then Keebway recruited me. I guess he saw something in me, a desire to turn my life around. I busted my ass to get where I am today. First mate of the Vigilance. Ironic I'd end up in Arya's position, don't you think?
I think Commander Candy made the right choice.
It took a while, and a lot of reflection, but I know he made the right choice. Had I continued down the road I was traveling back then, we wouldn't be speaking right now. I owe everything to Commander Akande for giving me a second chance.
Okay.
Let me know if you need anything else.
Okay. Right, so...
Sys-Def Marines are the best of the best.
Let's go see Ben. Bayou, maybe? No, he isn't on yet, so... That's the next mission, to get Ben Bayou. Oh, I can't travel from here, that's why. I need to undock. There's very few occasions where you actually have to get in your ship to fly somewhere. And for the few that it is, I don't mind.
Did you want to discuss something?
And we're away.
Can I assign Betty now to... Do I need to be at a fucking planet or something to recruit her?
Huh? Sorry, I was lost in thought.
I think we're going to get into space battles for this mission. Won't even be in our ship.
see. We're docked.
Hello.
Right, so
Yeah.
we could listen to the Crick's interviews if we wanted to, but it's just lore. I've done it off camera in a different playthrough. Well, the only other playthrough I've got.
We may not have official security on the key.
Right.
Always ask for a bigger cut. It's all about making.
Tell me you've got those supplies from Gennady. I'm on the last of my medpacks here.
The supplies are all yours.
Everything's accounted for. No damage. I'm impressed. I might have to make this a regular thing. At least it's one way to get guaranteed supplies. I only need to determine Gennady's limits. I'd hate to break him.
That can be very persuasive. I'm sure you'll continue to cooperate.
And he'd love every minute of it, right? Well, I'll arrange your payment so you can get out of here. I appreciate the help.
When the time's right, I'd appreciate a chat. So how much of a thrill has it been traveling with the one and only last descendant of the great Solomon Coe? Is it everything you
Cora?
imagined?
Cora's the last descendant, really. I think you're doing your family proud. It doesn't matter to me, Yuriko. The last Coe, what about Cora?
Ain't you ever heard of sarcasm, friend? Okay, so how's it traveling with one of the great Coes? That better?
It doesn't matter to me, Yuriko.
You're something else. I gotta say, it's a relief being with you. So many people hear Coe and they expect me to pull some miracle out of a hat. Time has a way of just building on itself. Solomon was a good man. Great one, even. But if he ever heard all the bullshit being talked about him these days, he'd flat out deck him.
Why did it revere Solomon so much?
There's books about him. Lots of them. Alright, a couple of high notes. He was one of the first grav jump explorers, back when they had no idea of the dangers. First solo jump out of Sol System, all him. He explored all the planets in Cheyenne and settled Aquila. Plus he formed the whole Freestar Collective with Volley. So, as you can see, the names got some serious heft.
It sounds like you aren't happy being related to Solomon.
I am. And I'm not. Yeah, there was a time, well before Cora, where it really weighed on me. Felt like every little thing I did or didn't do was a reflection on our great legacy. It's enough to drive you crazy. Now I just hope I can help Cora to... I don't know.
Every parent wants their children to learn from their mistakes.
Well then, Cora's gonna get a 5-star university education from me. For my father, Cora, and me, everything starts and ends with Solomon Coe. He looked out at the stars, and he dreamed a way to get there. Imagine being the first person to jump into a new system, set foot on a new world. Hell, I get it. That's powerful stuff. And now... I'm just getting sappy. You're a bad influence, you know that?
Oh, I'm the worst.
That's what I like about it. Well, I hope the comic book they make about our adventures is better than that rag on Solomon. The stuff they publish is just downright embarrassing.
Right, so let's go see Bog. Then we have to go see the ECS Constant to get this repeating negotiation job so I can get bribery done.
A kill for some more grog.
So, you got something for me?
Clay wasn't too happy about it, but I still got the ring.
So the bastard's still alive, eh? As long as he knows the fleet stole it. I suppose that's good enough for me. Oh, here's your credit. I think it's time for a drink myself. Thanks to you, I'll be spending the rest of these days in peace.
Come to the key, you said. It'll be fun, you said. Right.
Need something?
All right, Jazz. What do you got?
According to the latest, the comm spike is being developed at UC Star Station SY-920. Location undisclosed.
Fantastic. So how do we disclose it?
We could lean on your smuggling contact. Call in that favor. You know who I mean.
Our friend on Jimson. Nice one, Jazz. I'll make the arrangements. All right, Rook. Next stop, New Atlantis. Your connection is Juan Dayu. She's got most of the premium UC smuggling routes locked down tight. If you don't piss her off, she should be able to sneak you past SY-920's security.
Just remember to count your fingers after you shake hands with her.
In that case, I think I'll just wave hello.
Premium smuggling routes?
Definitely. We're talking cargo depots, star yards, research stations, and, like in SY-920's case, military outposts. I've never seen someone new to the game have so many contacts. It's the reason we let her join up in the first place. I don't know how she accomplished that. We've been trying to crack some of those places for years.
Should I expect any trouble then?
You're in the fleet. You should always expect trouble. As far as Juan goes, even though she's one of our newer contacts, you shouldn't have any problems dealing with her.
Sounds like she'll be useful.
I sure hope so. She might be our only crack at finding a decent decryption device. Once Juan gets you past the guard dogs, it's gonna be on you to locate the comm spike. According to the data we have, it's in the prototype phase, meaning there should only be a single device aboard the station.
Basically, you break it, you bought it.
I shouldn't need anything except the prototype's prime logic module.
Interesting. Well, don't take any chances.
Nave is right. Just grab everything labeled comm spike that isn't nailed down.
Oh, and one more thing. SY-920 is a UC military installation. That means it's guarded by heavily armed troops. And we both know those idiots don't mess around.
Which means I'm leaving Sam on the ship.
If you intend to turn the place into a shooting gallery, you might want to be sure you're hauling an arsenal, because you're gonna need it.
How will Juan get me inside the station?
She's got the clout to get you in the front door. They're gonna think you're part of a regular supply delivery. Beyond that, you and Juan are gonna have to put your heads together and come up with a plan.
You don't care if I shoot my way through the place?
Are you kidding? The UC's already painted giant red crosshairs on our backs. Keyway and his pals at SysDef won't rest until we're dead. It's not like you can make them any angrier at us, right? Shoot the place full of holes if you want. Just bring back that comm spike.
Understood.
Perfect. That's what I like to hear. Okay, so I'm gonna arrange a meeting with Juan at Kay's place in the well. In the meantime, I'll make sure Jazz comes up with a solution to the electromagnetic atmosphere problem at Bannock 4.
Okay, you'll make sure. More like get drunk while Jazz does all the hard work. Typical.
Privileges of rank, my darling. We'll discuss it a little later. And you, get the hell out of here. And don't come back without that comm spike in your cargo bay.
Okay. What if Juan asked why we need a comm spike?
I'm gonna leave that up to you, Rook. If you get into deep trouble and you think bringing her into the fold is gonna make the difference, tell her whatever you want. At some point, Delgado's gonna be promising everyone their cut of Crix's legacy. If we want him to stick with the fleet, it's inevitable. But until the money's within reach, the less people that know, the better.
Okay.
Stay sharp, Rook.
UC'll never crush the fleet.
That's the eye right there. Apparently, spoiler loading screens are not supposed to be displayed now. I mean, that's the way it always was in the Bethesda games. So, like, even like in Skyrim, the spoiler loading screens were never displayed until you reached the spoiler part.
I don't want to like it, but I got to admit, New Atlantis is classy.
What am I doing in the residential? I should be in the spaceport. I can't assign Betty Hauser to my ship yet. If not, I'll just assign some random fucker to my ship. I don't care. Yeah, there we go. Now ship and sea, and can I assign you the pink brick? You're now on the ship, Betty. There's the well over there, that elevator. Just wait until somebody comes with a texture pack for this shite, and it's like, my god, the game barely runs. Piss off with your larger textures. I mean, that's something you gotta admit though, the game does barely run. It's like, even with the 3060, it's still a fucking push to get it to run. Oh yeah, you're gonna have to wait in the ship, Sam, when we do this next mission. Right, so I know the evidence is somewhere in Kay's place. To get one.
Always nice to see a fresh face around here. You stop in whenever you'd like.
Oh.
So, when did you stop flying the Swan, anyway?
When the cargo became more valuable than the ship.
True. The fleet's got us real busy these days, and we are making good money smuggling all this contraband. But if any time was the right time for a break...
Hey, there's still work to do. I need to check with my contacts at the spaceport and find out what guards are on rotation when we leave port. Then it's back to the key to make sure Delgado gets his cut, and to make sure he hasn't cut us out. I worry sometimes that being in New Atlantis, we're missing out on the big scores. I know that old dog has something big planned. I can feel it.
Sheesh, that is a lot to think about. And here I thought the pirate life was carefree.
Maybe for some people, but that's not how I work.
Well, you feel free to plan our next move from now to the new year. I'm all about living in the present and being where your feet are.
That's fine. Just make sure to wipe those feet before boarding my ship.
Right, now let's go talk to Juan.
I take it your neighbor's new recruit?
Now I'm wondering how much she told you.
That you're new, but capable. Other than that, not a whole lot. Neva talks a lot, but that's not the same as talking too much. You're still a mystery to me. SY-920 is one of my regular stops, so I already have the necessary approvals. Neva says you're after a piece of UC tech. So to get it, we're going to need to get you on board. I can do that, but I have conditions.
Let's hear them.
Good. If I can be candid, for this job to work, we'll have to do this my way. We take my ship, and you're a member of my crew. But make no mistake, once you board, the risk is entirely yours. This route is highly lucrative, and sacrificing it is not an option.
Okay. No, let's start with Sam.
Well, at least you're upfront about it. I've worked with folks who'll say they got your back and leave you holding them back.
Exactly. Telling you now will prepare you for what's to come. There's no safety net on this climb. In any case, when you're ready, meet me at my ship. It's the Jade Swan. And make sure you're prepared for the long haul. Once you're on board SY-920, you can't come and go as you please. We'll talk more on the ship.
Hi, how you doing?
Sam? For Sam, it's just like, there. Sam, can you go back to the ship for a second?
Here, this is for you.
Thank you.
Well, I see your parents didn't skimp on your P's and Q's. I spotted it on our last planetary foray. All part of the service.
You're the best.
Make sure to tell Sarah that. I'll keep my eyes peeled. Who knows? Check in with me now and again and I might find more. You need something?
Can you go back to the ship?
A pleasure.
It's more to do with this as a stealth mission, and I don't want Sam there. Now, the extrovert trait is where you fuck up here, because you can't have companions on the Region or some of the Crimson Fleet missions, because they'll just give you away. But it's the same for the introvert trait, because there's points where you're forced a companion, so hell. You know what'd be nice is like if you side with the emissary or the hunter and you can just get them as a companion afterwards. Or if you manage to convince both of them to not be an arsehole, that you get them as a companion. Hi! So next episode, we'll be getting on this ship here. This massive fucking thing right here is what we'll be getting on next time. So see you then. Bye bye.